What's going on, traders? Hope everybody had a great start to the week. It is Monday, August 14th, and we'll be doing an analysis of the S&P 500, the Spider ETF. Before we get into that, this video is for educational and entertainment purposes only and in no way should be viewed as financial advice. So let's take a look here at the macro. We'll be going over some analysis on the daily chart, of course, and looking into tomorrow, the 15th, for a daily plan, some areas where we may want to engage the market and manage our risk. So looking at the daily chart, really not too much has changed overall. We're still watching this potential oversold reading here on the Momo. We're not quite there yet, but just peeking on right into that area. But you can see here where the market has come not even really to the oversold area, but has seen momentum shifts in this zone before. You can see back here multiple times, back here, all the way back up, back here. This one wasn't as powerful, but then we pretty much double bottomed back up into the overbought area. Does that mean that I think that we're going to get back into the overbought area? I don't know, if we'll get a rally like that, but something that we want to pay attention to as the week and month progresses. So we're hanging out right here. We've retested that prior breakout. I was talking about it being likely that this is the area where we could potentially come back and retest, as well as start to see a potential local bottom in the markets. We've been talking about short term, I'm bearish and still they haven't really convinced me yet. But bigger picture, we are still bullish, of course. So, I would like a little bit better of a reset. The weekly chart, as we had gone over on the weekend recap, is still majorly overbought, but doesn't mean that can't stay that way, of course, but it's just something to consider as far as the amount of a reset that we get before we are propelled higher into the end of the year, which is what I am anticipating, potentially new highs into the end of this year. So we'll see, how that plays out. That being said, we are just hanging out here. Really not too much has changed, right? We came into this demand area and today we opened up higher, and you can see here we had that low, and now we're trying to put in a higher low. So we'll see how that how this potential new trend plays itself out. The old adage is turnaround Tuesdays, so will we get that tomorrow? That's anybody's guess, but we still have not recaptured the daily 9 and 20 on the daily. The 9 sitting at 448.32 and the 20 sitting at 448.23. They are getting closer together, and I think that is a positive sign for the bulls. I like it when those moving averages start to tighten up and get closer, but we'll see if we can start to get any daily closes over them. And with the final print being at 448.11, we're really not that far from seeing some potential closes back above those short-term moving averages. So that'll be interesting to watch how it plays out. All right, so let's take a quick look at our bigger picture fibs, see if there's anything there. Oh, that's not the right one. See if there's anything there that we can really take away. And I guess really the main thing is recapturing so far this 23.6 at that old familiar 44625. A pretty, I would say, rather convincing close over that level. We closed over at about $2. So we'll continue to monitor how price reacts now that we're above it. There is certainly the potentiality that we could have 1, 2, 3 days close over that level and only to fail again. So nothing's really written in stone yet. for the bulls, and certainly certainly the case not being back over those short-term moving averages on the daily. But not too much to go over from this point on this chart. The other thing we want to look at now, we were looking at this on the weekly recap. We still have not recaptured this trend line quite yet, so going to see if bulls are able to get above it. I don't know when price will come in to test it. Maybe tomorrow we rally up a little bit in the morning, and then we actually roll over towards the end of the day. Just a total guess, but we'll see how that one plays out. That would be a very loose thesis that I have for what we could potentially look for tomorrow. But of course, level to level always, and we try to keep the predictions to the weathermen, or people, I guess you should say these days. Who knows, right? But depending on when we get into this trend line, it could be anywhere from 450 to 449.50, all the way up here, 451. So we will watch that. Let's see, at the end of the month, the highest point would be, let's just look here. Here's the 31st, 450.73. Okay, so you have a range there, but we'll watch that to see if bulls can actually recapture. Really, probably going to need to see back over this 452 area right here. The highs, I believe that's right around 455, 460 on the futures market. I think this candle here from the, what was this? This was the 4th. So I think this candle here is where we hit actually 45.60, and this one was 45.50 if I remember correctly. But we'll see. We could be just setting up for a back test here, right? Over the next couple of days, back test, and then kind of roll over like this. I'm not, again, I'm probably the furthest person from a perma bear, but a little bit stronger of a reset to me, I still think would be healthy for the market, and really just give us a little bit more power to move up into the end of the year. But we'll see. Maybe this is all the bears got, right? They couldn't fill the gap. Could they? Let's see. What's the low here? We got close. That was 443.35. Top of this one, 442.97. I mean, it got pretty close to filling that volume imbalance there. So, all right. I mean, maybe we can consider that gap filled. All right. So let's look into tomorrow and some levels. I am watching some areas that I potentially will engage the market. 1 second. All right. Okay. Actually, the only other thing I wanted to go over, because we actually did not touch on it over the weekend, was our daily trends. Yes. Okay, so I'm going to watch this here. You can see sold down. What do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4. So sold down into our 4th major area here. And this was that look below where we tried to fill that gap, and we pretty much opened just above that where we put in that higher low. And today we did pop back over this next key area, sitting right around 447 and some change. We can call it, I like to round mine off to whole numbers and in half, so we could call it anywhere from 447.25, 447.30. So keep an eye on that if we can hold back above this 3rd pivot, depending on which way you're counting. And if we can, that may indicate still some bullish momentum to come into the markets. But we'll have to certainly watch to see if we do sell back up into this area here in the 440, 170s, 442 area. that will be interesting to watch as well. All right, so let's look at tomorrow. All right. Okay, cool. All right, so today pretty much, you could see the low here from Friday and today opening up. So just so you can see the visual of the potential trend that is now starting to be created, we'll watch this trend line as well, and I will keep this up here. That is, we may be seeing a shift here. And the other thing that we were talking about yesterday was that potential inverted head and shoulders, right? We were talking about this head here, shoulder here, kind of a Quasimodo kind of shoulder here. But either way, we did break over that neckline pretty much. We got outside of balance here at that 447.50, and now we are currently sitting up in this retesting this back part of this balance right here. So if the markets were open, potentially, because I do still think we are short-term bearish if I was to be trading this, right now I might be putting on a short position with my risk just above that whole number at 449, right? And I might be getting in some 448 or maybe even at the money 449 puts and looking to see if this would do a type of situation like this and roll down, right? Maybe take some off right here, or maybe depending on the tape, I would wait to retest this area where, if I didn't get completely out, if you were bullish, certainly could be an area where you'd want to consider those longs. So we were talking about that 447 yesterday as well as that 446. Let me get a little bit more into what happened here in the morning before we get into a little bit of the daily plan, and then we'll try to wrap it up quickly for everybody. But you can see here, we opened up, sold back down, and then we recaptured 445. I was talking yesterday that that's really the first step that the bulls needed to show for potential upside is recapturing 445, 445.50, which we did. And then we met our old faithful friend, the 23.6 here at 446, 25, 30, right? Okay. And you can really see how nicely this held today. We never broke back below, giving nice opportunities for longs, and when we dipped into it to take a nice long right into the close there. Actually, I did get the long on the futures market, but I was actually kind of scalping both these moves down on the short side in futures and options today as we were hitting up against this 447.50 area because I was not convinced that we would get over today, but right at the end of the day we did, and so that's cool for the bulls. But now we're really going to be looking for that 447 and 447.50 to hold up for the bulls. Last line of defense is going to still be sitting at that 446.25, we'll call it. And if we start to get below that, then we'll be looking for those lower prices into the 445 area, 445.50. Back under that, we will see about selling back down into the 444, 443, 75, 60 area, and then 443 down into here, right? And below that, we've got that 442, 40. Okay, for the bulls, as long as we hold last stop here, again, this pivot, but ideally, I mean, even better for them if they can actually open up here above the 444, 448.50 area, even better, 449. But as long as we can maintain and hold the 447.50, 447 here, and last stop the 446.25, as long as we can hold that, we will be targeting 450. Which is an area you could potentially consider a direct short, or even better, a look above and fail type of situation. And you know, right here again, this could still be a short position if we're just hanging out here. Maybe we get a pop and then we sell down. I have no idea, but we'll see. I guess, you know, if we get over that 450, then we're going to be looking for the top part of the range again, right? For 451, 451, 40, maybe 50. You can see how they can break just slightly above. So we'll see what happens. And it might be an area where I would be interested in the potential short trade. But let's certainly keep an eye, because there is a nice confluence going on right here with the daily 20 is sitting right at 44873 right now. And that's pretty much here in this lower quadrant of this balance zone. So it'd be interesting to see, you know, how price reacts as we come and back test that daily 20. I don't know if this is a glitch, but it says the daily 9 here is sitting at that 44833. We closed at. Okay, yeah, okay, I see. Right now we are trading over the daily. Okay. I didn't know if it was counting pre-market. So we, as far as right now is concerned, we're trading over the daily 9 again. So we'll see if that holds. But yeah, you could potentially look for a look above and fail on the 450 or a direct short, a little bit more risky. Same situation for up here. And if you're long, probably targeting that 450, waiting to break over. If we get that confirmation, then we're looking back for here to get most out. And let's see, that's another $2 away. So I think I will leave the levels at that for today. The video has been about 16 minutes, so I think that pretty much covers it as the main areas I will be watching. I hope you've enjoyed the video, that this content is helping you on your trading journey and giving you some insight into what I am seeing and looking at each and every day. I always preach this. Remember, a prepared trader is a profitable trader. So I hope this is helping any of the listeners out there have a little bit of a framework to potentially work with as they develop their own style and trade ideas as well. All right. I hope everybody has a great Tuesday. Remember, follow your plan, manage your risk, trade smart, and we will see you in the next one. Take care and have a good night.